Come to smoke cannabis. Doctor say make a pop one of this. Make me fly like say I'm Aladdin. Come bring some kind melodies. Oh mama myself no do pass like this. So many things inside of my jeans. Slide down DBTs, DBTs. Testing mic 1 2. Good mid-morning. Can we come back in to reconvene for the panel discussion? Kwampa, are you ready?
Ready.
Take it up.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing. Testing. Thank you very much. Please welcome back to the launch program. We've done the launch already. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you give me a smile? Did you get some of the snack? I've been to programs where we didn't even get, I think Ghana's secondary school culture, we know how to rush. So sorry if you didn't get. I have some stuff here. If you're hungry, you can come and pick some. I don't even know I'm going to eat this, I've done many programs. This is very challenging for me. Sitting on a bar stool, a coffee next to me, some food. I don't know I'm going to grab the food. So you guys, when I ask you the question, talk for long so that don't give me short answers. Nana, are you listening? So that I can eat during the program. All right. Did you enjoy the first part of the program? Was it nice? Yeah. I think it was good. A lot of these launch events are very boring, but I think this was great. Minister is always fun to have. Shiraj was great as well. Let's put hands together for all the functionaries for the first half. All right. So what we are trying to do is to take the EdTech Mondays outside the studio. And the reason we brought it here is you are the people who will help us spread the EdTech message. So we're not going to just talk to each other. We will talk a bit and talk to you. So that when we put this on air, it will be exciting. So tell your neighbor, don't be boring. Don't be boring. Don't kind of say, okay. No, like sound intelligent, even if you are not. Like just talk nicely. So we're going to invite our 4 panel members. We have a topic that looks complicated, but it's really not, right? So it's like unlocking market access, navigating the complexities of EdTech companies. It sounds wild, but it's not, right? By the time we start speaking for 5 minutes, it's very easy. So what I'll do is I'll introduce the panel. It's always good to know who's on the panel and what they do. So they'll talk about what they do and how they come to the EdTech conversation. Then I'll ask them some general questions around the topic. But I feel like it's good for them to tell us what they do in a bit more detail. Once we're done with that, I'll open the floor. And when I open the floor, you can ask them a question, you can challenge something they say, or you can make a contribution to the topic as well. Is that a good idea? Oh, are you happy? Wonderful. All of this was done before recording. So I'm coming to pretend I've not even met you. So I'm coming to say, and now from the Kempinski Hotel, this is EdTech Monday. Then you clap, blah, 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 blah. Then I'll mention the topic. Then I'll say on the panel, when I call the first person, you clap. So we are pretending as if we don't even know each other. Let it be nice. So all of this is Apo I'm giving. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and the way we're doing it, the 2 ladies will sit at the extreme ends, and then the men will sit in the middle. So it will be nice for the photo. Is Angela here? Wanted to take a photo, but I won't do that. So, camera guys, are you ready? Sound guys, are you ready? Wonderful. So we are now coming to start. So shh. All right, so coming to you live from the Kempinski Hotel at the sidelines of the launch of the Mastercard Foundation EdTech Fellowship. This is EdTech Monday. My name is Bernard Avle. It is such a joy to welcome you to one of our outdoor EdTech Mondays, sponsored by the Mastercard Foundation, organized by the Meltwater Entrepreneurial School for Technology, MEST, and hosted on CTFM. Today's topic seeks to unlock market access for EdTech companies and help them navigate the complexities of being an EdTech company in a growing market like Ghana. We're privileged to have 4 very erudite panelists. I'm going to invite them to come up stage. They'll introduce themselves and we'll dive right in. This program is being held before an audience of very diverse people. We have people in the educational sector, we have school heads, we have educational CSOs, and of course, we have the first 12 fellows for the EdTech Fellowship. Thank you for being here. I want to invite to join us as our first panelist, Anyele Pebi, who is the CEO and co-founder of Pebi Caps. Please. Thank you so much, Anyele. We are proud of what you're doing, and we are happy to hear more about the journey of the Pebi Caps. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
From the policy side, we're privileged to have the Deputy Director General of Ghana Education Service in the person of Stephen Kweku Owusu. Please put your hands together for Stephen. The GES is easily the largest government institution in the educational sector, managing pre-tertiary education. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. And Stephen and his team assist the DG to operationalize educational policy at the pre-tertiary level. Thank you, Stephen, for being on the program. We're also privileged to have the Executive Director of SendLoss. It's really government's arrowhead for pushing EdTech into the communities. So they are like our rep in the state. We're privileged to have Nana Jemfi Ejwabo, who is the Executive Director of SendLoss. Always a pleasure having Nana. He's our champion for EdTech in government, and he's really doing a great job. Nana, it's good to see you again. Thank you for being here. Last but not least, the program lead, Education and Skills, Mastercard Foundation, Ghana, our own Larissa Akrofi. Wonderful. This panel, Larissa, thanks for being here. This panel aims to delve into the challenges and strategies related to market access for EdTech companies. You can get a good idea. It's difficult to penetrate some markets. Some are monopolies, some are oligopolies. Some, even though they are ostensibly free, have very strong entry barriers. Anyele a year ago, launched Pebby Cups. To be on this panel alone is testimony of how well she's done. How do I know? I was MC for that event. Anyele, tell us how the journey has been so far. Tell us a bit about the Pebby Cups and your growth in the past 12 months.
Okay, thank you very much, Bernard. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Mastercard Foundation and MEST. It's a real privilege to be part of this fellowship. So actually, Pebby Cups is almost 6 years old, but we launched Carnival, a behavioral change campaign in partnership with UNESCO Accra World Book Capital on May 11th last year. So the Pebby Cups journey has been an interesting one. It was initially to fulfill a family need, and bringing books to Ghana was to get our children to read while we were on vacation. And then COVID came. Well, before then, our friends and family were so excited to see our collection of books, hard copy books, used to borrow our books, so we started a small library. When COVID struck, we had thousands of books, and we had all these books in the library, all the children at home. So we pivoted and started to run an EdTech platform. We did a platform together, had thousands of books available to children, and created an exciting community of readers during the COVID period. We had over 1,000 children reading with us at that time. So after COVID, we realized that this is more scalable than the hard copy books. And the problem was even worse as a result of COVID, where children had been out of school for so long. The reading problem is a big problem. And so we decided to take it head on and to actually try and make a dent at literacy levels, at the low literacy levels in Ghana. One of the major challenges, the root causes of low literacy in our context, is just a general lack of appreciation for reading. And it's such a fundamental, pervasive root cause that is very hard to tackle. You can give people free books and they will not read them. You can actually try and pay people to read and they still won't read. So it's actually a very difficult problem to get to. So when UNESCO announced that Accra was World Book Capital a year ago, was a fantastic opportunity to collaborate. That's the key word here, collaborate across society, not just in the EdTech space or in the education space, but across society to actually attempt to implement a behavioral change campaign where we see reading as fun, reading leading to success, and where everyone should read. So the Carnival campaign, Carnival from 2 words, Cane for the Ghan word read, and Carnival for fun and excitement was launched a year ago, and that's where you were the MC, and we're excited to bring excitement to reading as a result of Carnival.
Yeah, it's fair to say the growth of Pebby Cups took a sharper gradient after Carnival. What was the key to getting people excited about reading again? I notice you go to public schools. I see your vans moving. Kids are excited to eat popcorn, do quizzes, and win points. Just tell us how Carnival changed the growth trajectory of Pebby Cups.
Yeah, so Carnival initially it had to be a serious collaboration among parents, teachers, schools, the media, educators, publishers, everyone. Literally everyone had to play a part to have this behavioral change campaign be successful. And I mean, everyone loves to do something that they consider fun. So we had to rebrand reading as reading being fun. We had to partner with over 20 influencers, and this is all while not being funded. So imagine a behavioral change campaign on a $0 budget, and so it just had to really appeal to the entire society to actually pitch in. And so we had many media interviews on City FM, City TV, and all major channels as well, all done as part of UNESCO Accra World Book Capital, so the media was happy to give us the space. The schools were very excited to see us bringing their fun to reading. So the rebranding had to be colorful, paraphernalia, T-shirts, colors, popcorn machines, bouncy castles, just bringing the fun to reading. And I think it's been very successful because it's culminated in 2 TV shows, which we had over 1 million people watching, and so that did definitely make a dent on the paradigm shift here.
I think this is fantastic. Fantastic. Wonderful. All right, now I want to come to you because it seems as if everybody I talk to in the EdTech sector, COVID is an important inflection point. I had never heard of send loss until COVID. Tell us what send loss is, what disruption COVID brought, and how that spurred your penetration into the Ghanaian educational system.
All right, thank you so much, and I wish all the fellowship persons congrats for this new journey. And of course, when it comes to COVID, it brought a new change in the educational space. But before, my name is Nana Jemfie Jabo. I am the Executive Director for SENDLOS, and SENDLOS is the agency mandated to lead EdTech in the country. So if you see the ministry, we have a lot of agencies. My mandate is to make sure that we go into a traditional classroom, brick and mortar, talk and chalk. I have to mimic the same thing online, that the student wouldn't miss anything, but everything will look so perfecto. So before COVID, SENDLOS was still there. The name was President's Special Initiative. It started in 2002, and our mandate I already spoke about. We have been there, but our work was not very pronounced until COVID came, and it shot SENDLOS to prominence, as we can see. A lot of things we have done at SENDLOS to make sure we can move EdTech to the next phase. Our vision and our focus is on 5 crucial things. When you talk about EdTech, you need to make sure there's an EdTech policy. So we are the agency making sure that there's an EdTech policy to govern everything we are doing here. So my focus is to have that EdTech policy so we can attract everyone to make sure we can move EdTech to the next level. We had an ESP at the Ministry of Education, that is an Education Strategic Plan, but that was not an EdTech policy, but through the leadership of the minister, now we are about to launch the first ICT policy that has an extension for EdTech policy in the country. That is one. I also focus on infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, we are looking at connectivity, we are looking at digital divide, the tablets and data centers. So the tablets, we just launched the Ghana Smart School project that the government has shown crucial commitment that every student, irrespective of location, senior high school will receive 1 tablet. That have shown the commitment of the government. So the infrastructure bit, we are doing well. And of course, connectivity. There's a deficit in the country. We have 30% deficit. It's still wide. Guess where the deficit is at the remotest part of in the country. So if we are talking about EdTech, we need to achieve the SDG 4, that is equity, equality, and access for everyone. So we can't push EdTech without bringing those persons in. So we are looking at connectivity to be parity at everywhere. So now we are working with Busy Internet and other ISP to provide free Wi-Fi in the school. I also look at content. When it comes to EdTech, crucial aspect is content. The blood of EdTech is content, and the content is not the usual content. So at SENDLOS, we focus on e-content that is very aligned with the curriculum. So that is what we do to make sure teachers can teach, utilize the content to teach online. So majority of our content are being used by the teachers in the schools as we speak now, and we focus on tests, interactives, audiovisuals, videos, and quizzes. So all these contents are curriculum aligned. We also look at capacity building. Teachers must be trained, learners must be trained. Everyone should receive training before they can say EdTech is doing well in the country. So capacity building needs to be dished out to the teachers. So SENDLOS is in charge of that. We have trained teachers for ERT and other stuff. That is emergency remote training. So now, if education is under attack in the country, teachers can teach online like we did for the country during COVID, utilizing iBox and iCampus. The last part is robust assessment tools. The fidelity of EdTech lies on the assessment tools you put in place. If you don't have good assessment tools, then people will not see EdTech graduation and certificate as weightier compared to traditional setup. So SENDLOS is putting a lot of robust assessment tool. We are working with Televidge to bring what we call assessment queues, so everything can be done online. Assessment during preparation, assessment during examination, assessment during reporting, and psychometric analysis. We focus on that. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was amazing. I wonder whether you have anything to say, GES, because the way Sendless is going, EdTech policy, infrastructure, tablet, connectivity, content, training. Hey, that's wicked, man. So, GES, what is left for you to do with all that Sendless is doing? What do you also do?
All right, thank you so much. I'm also delighted and happy to be with you here. GES, as you rightly indicated, is the biggest agency when it comes to service providing in relation to education. You know, we have a number of agencies, as Nana rightly said. But GES, we are the ones implementing all these that they are bringing on board. And we dearly appreciate our role in just producing the kind of manpower that this nation requires. And we are also much appreciative of the fact that the people that we are training today will have influence on what we need and will be able to produce as a nation. Therefore, once our mandate of getting the Ghanaian children, those that have gotten to the school-going age in school, we also talk about access, inclusion, we are also talking about equality, we are talking about accountability, management, efficiency. All these things we know very well that with what Nana is saying and what we are doing, EdTech plays serious role because it has been an integral part of what we do. In terms of our content, I'm talking about in terms of curriculum, in terms of our teachers' delivery, pedagogy, ability to teach them and teach them rightly, for us to be able to also assess them. For those of us in management positions, we know EdTech also plays a serious role in supporting us to give the kind of assistance that our teachers will need. In terms of monitoring, in terms of making sure that whatever they are delivering in classroom, even the Director General headquarters will be able to monitor and to see what is going on. Whatever interventions that our teachers will need, we must be able to leverage EdTech to be able to do that. We've done a lot, and we continue to do a lot because we can't take EdTech out of what we do.
Wonderful. Thank you. Put your hands together for Stephen Kweko Owusu, the Deputy G for GES. So, Larissa, the Mastercard Foundation, you do a lot of things. Just explain the education and skills program, how important it is within the broad framework of the foundation, and why these kinds of conversations we're having are important to this program within the foundation's portfolio.
Thanks, Bernard. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with our Young Africa Works strategy, which is a really ambitious strategy to provide 30 million young people with dignified and fulfilling work by 2030. And our target for Ghana is 3 million young people. And so we really had to reimagine what that would look like in terms of actually supporting young people to create jobs or find opportunities. And so we decided to prioritize agriculture and its adjacent sectors. And we are looking at 3 main strategies based on the very broad themes of workforce development and entrepreneurship. So we are looking at MSME strengthening. We want to support value chain actors to have the business development support they need. We're also looking at leveraging technology to support young people within agriculture and adjacent sectors. And then finally, improving education and skills. And this is the area where my team and I work on. For improving education and skills, we are looking at not just improving the quality of education, but also improving access to education and a sector relevance. And so we do a lot of programming. We have a very comparative advantage when it comes to secondary education, and then doing a lot of programming within tertiary and TVET education. So in a nutshell, that's really what we are focused on. Thank you.
With you, Larissa, when I listen on radio to Mastercard Foundation, everything you do with a partner. So Young Africa Works, you have people you do it with. There are things you do with ABSA. I've heard of the Ghana Grows. Almost everything you why that approach?
We believe in young people. We're a very youthful population, as you know, and we need to start beginning to leverage young people's expertise. And so we're doing so by offering them opportunities, like I mentioned, within workforce development and entrepreneurship. we want young people to create opportunities, whether it's through self-employment, whether it's through wage employment, and we're doing that through agriculture, which is our priority area for Ghana.
Wonderful. Now, let's try and unpack the topic. The topic is pretty interesting. So, market access, all right? I don't like market. I prefer ecosystem. But I can see why market access is an issue, because we are buying and selling. There's commercial things involved. I want you to explain the ecosystem to me. So when it comes to the skills and education sector, and then the EdTech subsector, right? Who are the players? Because we're trying to train or support these social enterprises to gain access into this market and to thrive. But we need to understand the state of play and possibly the entry barriers, for which reason we are even discussing market access. So it's a long way of just simply saying, talk to us about the various moving parts of this EdTech ecosystem. I'm still with you, Larissa.
All right, thanks, Bernard. I think the last time we spoke, I touched heavily on the importance of cross-sector partnerships and collaborations among EdTech entrepreneurs, people in academia, government agencies, educators and learners as well. I stressed a lot on educators and learners. But today, I really want to focus on our fellows, being EdTech entrepreneurs, and really encourage you to work more closely with educators and learners, because they really provide you with the reality on the ground within the learning environment. So it's really important that you get to work more closely with them. But more profoundly, I think we need to look beyond EdTech as just a solution, but also as a way of reimagining what education looks like. So for instance, we have adaptive learning tools that are really changing the way we support learners. So if you have, for instance, slow learners, we're supporting them through phased approaches where they can catch up with those who can grasp the whole concept of what they are learning. And I think it's very important that you do so in collaboration with educators and learners.
Wonderful, thank you. Please answer for Larissa. Anyele, I want you to explain to us how difficult it was to enter the market. You've been here for 6 years.
Yes.
I only started taking you seriously a year ago. So it means you needed 5 years to get my attention,
Yes.
right? Talk to me about the difficulties, some of the barriers you faced when you began 6 years ago.
Okay, thank you very much for the question, Bernard. So our insight is that parents, so for us, we equip children to love reading so they succeed in school in the future. And our model is to work with schools, but the parents pay for our service, or we get other people to pay for the service for children whose parents can't afford. So our target insight is that the parents, those who are supposed to pay for it, most parents want what is best for their child. You know, they want what's best for their child to succeed. But there seems to be a break between understanding what we do connects with what is best for their child. And so I think that was a major thing. People think, they don't have enough information regarding the benefits of what we are doing. And I think that applies to a lot of EdTechs as well, where we are doing something good, and the research shows that they are doing it is good, is going to lead to significant improvements in the lives of your users. But the ones who need to make the decision for your users to use it are not interested, for one reason or the other. And so that was a significant challenge, trying to educate. So when we initially started, we wanted to serve their children, get them to love reading, and that's all we focused on. Then we realized that was not going to work, because even when we gave the products for free, and the children actually read a lot and won medallions, their parents still refused to pay for it. They didn't see why they should, and for us, that was an eye-opener. We realized that we had to really engage all stakeholders very well for them to understand the relationship between why what we do is important and how it can lead their child to succeed as they wanted their child to do. So that's a significant challenge. It means that as an EdTech, you have to invest in marketing. and marketing can be expensive. You know, you can do all the research, you can learn all the wonderful, amazing evidence between what you're doing. You can refine it based on the science, the learning sciences and all that, but you need to be able to communicate with the end users and the clients, those who you want to pay, those who will be paying for the service, as to why this service is important. Of course, that was a major challenge for us, but other major challenges include, of course, access to capital. I mean, it takes quite a bit of funds to be able to build a software that others can use, and access to capital has been a bit tricky, as can be the case. So we ended up writing for funding and support, trying to get investors. Investors are looking for traction. It's a chicken and egg situation, and the funders are looking for rural impact. And so you have to kind of balance what you're doing, trying to be sustainable, at the same time trying to actually impact beyond those who can pay. So that was a significant challenge as well. And then also our product uses internet. And so that is challenging. Internet is not stable in some places. Internet is expensive as well, and you have a case where you get a child to read a lot in the school where you are, and then the child goes home and says, keep reading. Mommy's like, stop reading. The internet is too expensive. You're taking too much data. After all you do to get a child to read, to think that mommy wants you to stop, so the costs involved, of course, if mommy knew that this was a path to success, she would allow the child to read. So the kind of a combination of various factors that make it very difficult to make impact to scale, Many parents also just know the traditional school system and don't know anything else. Anything is viewed with suspicion. The school just wants to increase the fees. So, there's that, dealing with that as well. And so all this is a combination of things why the first 5 years were very difficult to gain traction.
I want to stay with you for a reason. So you have a number of stakeholders. You have the schools.
Yes.
You have the parents. Then you have these people like UNESCO. And then maybe private and public media supporting. Even with the schools, you have public schools, which generally will have more low income, and then you have private schools. How did you crack the schools code? Because I feel the schools are your first port of call. Once the schools accept you, parents will accept you. Once parents accept you, donors will accept you. So talk to us about how you tailored your offering to, because at your event, all the public schools in Dansoman were there. The head teacher, the district director was there. The students were there. But you were in a private school, and the school was full.
Yes.
How did you manage to get all those guys to agree to let you enter and talk to their students?
Well, very good question. So it's as a result of the lessons we learned early on that it's not just about getting the child to do better at reading, but it takes the entire community and collaboration with all stakeholders. So we actually had to take our time to find out the stakeholders in the system, the ecosystem, should I say. And within the school, it's not just the school owner, but the school management, the teachers, even the supporting staff, and to engage them and to show them why what we do is important for the children to succeed. And then to do the same in the GES system, the whole CISO, the municipal, all the way to the regional director, to get them to understand that we are just on the same page, we are working together to improve literacy. And so it took quite a bit of back and forth and explaining what we do, but we had to put in the time in order to get the effects we wanted to get.
Amazing stuff coming from Angele Pebi. This is EdTech Monday, coming to you from Kempinski Hotel at the launch of the Mastercard Foundation EdTech Fellowship. It's a mouthful. We are here before an audience who are excited enough to give us a round of applause. They are not bored. We're talking about gaining market access for EdTech entrepreneurs. We have an audience which includes the 12 new fellows for the fellowship. Our panel includes Angele Pebi, who's with Pebi Caps. We also have Stephen Kweku Owusu, Deputy DG of GES. We have Nana Jemfi Ejwabo, who is the ED of Sendlos. And of course, we have Larissa Kofi, Program Lead for Education Skills, Mastercard Foundation. Mr. Owusu, GES. One of the everlasting complaints I get from tech entrepreneurs, the public schools are a difficult nut to crack. I mean, you go to a school, you have to go through 20 layers of approvals. And it's like our bosses in Accra don't even want you to come and talk to us. Anyele has done well, but for every Anyele, there are many, many who have given up because they are seen as a threat. They are not seen as partners. Talk to me about your general policy around innovative EdTechs. How welcome you are to what they do. That's point one. And point two, what are the rules? How do I engage? If I have a product or a service that I think will be useful to schools, what do I need to do to be listened to? So it's a 2-in-1, sir. Yeah, it's on. It's on. Just keep talking to come.
Right. With GES, it is not difficult at all. And we have a number, not at all, because of a number of partners here, even in this very room, that we've worked with to introduce a lot of projects and interventions. But we also have our own standards and guides. We cannot just get up and walk into our schools and talk to a headmaster or headmistress and then have access to our school. We run with certain policies. And with us in Ghana, we have a centralized system with GES. So Director General is the overall manager of all our schools. And therefore, whatever happens in any of the schools, wherever it is, the Director General should be aware. It's just a matter of just coming to Director General, and the Director General, through the regional directors and the district directors, will grant you access to our schools. But for GES, we have done a lot, and the lot that we have done, we know very well that we cannot do it alone. We need collaboration in building this infrastructure that will support EdTech. We also need collaboration in sourcing funds to be able to get to all the software, the programs, and then the tools that we need to be able to do our work and do it so well. Through our collaboration, and that is to confirm what we have been able to do. COVID taught us a lesson, and it pushed us so fast to be able to run instead of to be crawling. Before COVID, we had EdTech, and we have leveraged technology in doing whatever we are doing in terms of teaching, learning materials, and others. But after COVID, we realized that we need to introduce what we call education in emergency, and it was at the time that we needed to fast-track whatever we are doing with our partners so that we can get learning platforms, and we have introduced what we call the learning management platforms. The other areas that we're also doing is the introduction of our laptops, and I'm talking about one teacher, one laptop. We're also talking about one student, one tablet. These are the areas that are giving the indication that GES is ready to work with any EdTech company that is to support us to play a role and to play it well. So, Bernard, our guidelines and our policies are just to make sure that we are so efficient. We just to make sure that we do the right thing, and we are also be able to monitor whatever.
How well do you work with Sendelos in terms of approving an EdTech offering? Somebody comes with a great idea, they want to share it to the schools. Is Sendelos your guy in the EdTech space that you say, hey guys, check this guy out for me? Or you have your own system of verification? Just want to know whether there are certain layers of relationships between you and them.
Thank you. We do not have our own way of getting to where we want to get to in terms of policy. Sendelos is the one that is supposed to technically advise us because it's an agency in the ministry. So whatever we are doing in terms of the EdTech space, we work with Sendelos. They are the ones we collaborate for them to guide us as to how to do it. It comes to the content of what we present to our case. I'm talking about the curriculum. We work closely with Sendelos. We work closely with NACA. We have other agencies that work together with GES. We just implement the policies that the ministry makes through or with the support of all other agencies, and GES will lead in making sure that we implement them.
I'm very happy to hear this. Put your hands together for Stephen Kweku Owusu, Deputy DG. Nana, you are nodding, which means what he's saying is true. Just confirm it. It's on. Just press it. Just put it on. It's on. No.
Yes, I think at Sendelos we work with GES. They are the implementers. So we have that ecosystem whereby we share ideas with them. And of course, when it comes to approvals and trainings and other stuff and NO hubs, ideas, we work with them very, very much so. Yeah.
Wonderful. You listed 5 things, and thank you for listing them. It gives us a framework for what you do. You champion the policy, EdTech and ICT policy. You support infrastructure, which includes both gadgets and connectivity. You are interested in content. You do training and the rest of it. 2 questions. Is there not a sense in which you are doing too much? Right? Because you are just one government agency. Aren't you doing, what would the rest of us chop? It's like we the people in the industry, you alone. You have the policy, you have the infrastructure, you are supplying the tablet, you are creating the content, you are doing the training. So what should the rest of us also do to survive? That's the first question. Just talk to me a bit about how deep you go into all of these and whether there are spaces within the things you do to collaborate with some of the people in this room.
All right, that's good. And I'll make sure this time I'll leave some for GES. Yes, looking at what we do, of course, based on what I said, there's still a critical gap of things other persons can also do. When it comes to the policy and all the other areas I mentioned, that comes together in totality to be the EdTech objectives in the country. And if you look at where the minister, in terms of how he wants to reimagine education, all the areas I mentioned is dovetailing what the minister is doing, and he is expecting SENLOS to pull and bring all the stakeholders together. So to deepen all of this, we introduced what we call the National Distance Digital Learning Conference, which brings every stakeholder together in the country. Before I assumed the leadership of SENLOS, you could see that most of the EdTech persons in the country or companies were doing projects in silos. But through that conference, now we are here together. I'm very happy because now you could identify all the EdTech persons in the ecosystem, and now we are working together as a team. So it helps to take away redundancy, duplication of effort. So now we are working together. So that is helping. That helps for me to achieve that. When it comes to the EnnoHubs and what is happening here today, SENLOS also have a policy or something that guides the special startups in the country. What we do mimics what Silicon Valley is doing. If you go to Silicon Valley, they have it boldly written that innovate to scale. You do not innovate not to scale. So if any startup is here, when you come to SENLOS, we want you to innovate to scale. So even when we take your ideas, we want to see how you plan to scale it up to solve a problem. So if you are thinking you just want to come up with an EdTech innovation for yourself, then it's not for the country or for SENLOS. So let's focus on that. And also, an advice for all the startups. What I can share with you at SENLOS, and we are working with MEST, is you need to create that EdTech innovations or your ideas to solve a problem in totality for everyone. To do that, there has to be what we call empathy mapping. You need to be in the shoes of the users, in the shoes of the learners, in the shoes of the teachers, everyone. Before you can even think of doing any production, you need to do those research to gather evidence and data so you can do it. After you do that, then you look at the design thinking to make sure what you have done could actually help what we are doing. So at SENLOS, we support all of these to support what you are saying.
Now, I'm still with you, but I want to ask a question. So is the EdTech policy out, or is it being worked on? Is the EdTech policy out?
Yes, it will be launched, I think, next month.
What about the ICT policy? Is it the same policy?
The same.
So there will be, EdTech ICT policy.
Yeah,
so
together.
Has anybody here been involved at any stage in the policy development? Have you seen a draft? Have you made an input? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just want to know. So we are a legitimate EdTech community. There's an EdTech policy being launched. Is there anybody in the room who has a sniff of the policy? This is not a trick question. I just want to know. I'm just filling the room out. Anybody? I'm not going to ask you any question about it. I just want to know. Show by hands. If you've seen the policy. Okay. You've smelled the policy. You've heard about it. Yes. Oh, I just be sorry. One. I don't see hands. Okay. So yes, so at some level you've seen, made an input or a suggestion that you believe went into the policy. Let me see by hands. All right, so you're not sure. You're not sure. So we may need a forum for the stakeholders to have a feel of the policy before you launch it. Because the policy would create the framework for which they can engage with you and government. So they don't come to your office every day. Because out of the policy will flow the laws and the rules and regulations. That's how it works. So this is not to put the policy down, but I think this room has some of the best social enterprises, educational institutions within the EdTech space. And if the policy is going to be launched, it will be a great idea. How many of you think it's a great idea? That you want to feel the policy? Then put your hands together for me for asking that question. Wonderful. Having said that, is there anything in the policy that recognizes the role of EdTech startups, social enterprises in education? Why am I asking this question? It's a wrong premise, but private schools generally feel like, since we started free SHS, government doesn't prioritize them anymore. They feel like it's all about public schools, which is great. Public schools, everybody has to go to school. So they feel excluded, rightly or wrongly. So if you're doing an EdTech policy, the innovators, the guys who are creating the content, the guys who are finding value in solving our problems must have a space. Can you talk to us about whether the policy has space for these guys, whether it encourages partnerships at all? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I think the policy responds or speak to all the areas you mentioned. We know definitely the times we are in, EdTech is the name of the game, especially when it comes to education. That is post-COVID. So in the wisdom, again, of the Honorable Minister for Education and the ministry, they know that startups will come up and there has to be engagement between stakeholders. So the implementation of this policy, of course, we have engaged most of the CSOs and a lot of private sector, industry, academia. Engagement has gone on. Reasons why it hasn't been launched is the minister wants us to do a lot of in-depth engagement. So some of them will happen, and also he wants us to benchmark the policy with another country or another place that they have also introduced. So we are going to do benchmarking with a policy before we launch it. So that's a good point. I can assure you that all of you at some point will be engaged so we can speak to the policy. It's for everyone. When it comes to startups, yes, we have a provision for that. We have a provision for devices, teaching, private sector, everyone, we have factored you in. Now there's a crucial aspect of that we need to hear your voice. We cannot sit there and impose on you. So that we are going to engage all of you so you can speak to that. When it comes to platforms, yes, we have the Policy Captures platform, and we did a lot of research with most of the private sector to make sure the platforms is separate. When it comes to platform, if you don't take time, you may think a platform as we created for LMS is just like a social media. There has to be a disparity. When a student goes on an LMS, they have to have a feel that they are in a classroom. So there has to be a disparity. The policy speaks to that. And also data. Now, when it comes to EdTech, we have something we call datafication. So we spoke to that in the policy, that data is the name of the game. But where do we save our data in the country, EdTech data? Where does it go? Do we sell the data and all these kind of stuff? So the policy looks at that and how to utilize content and devices and everything. So that is a fantastic part we are looking at.
Thank you. Round of applause for him. He has committed live on camera and before the witnesses here gathered that we will definitely be involved before the launch. And I'm suspecting the launch should be probably in the next quarter. So you will engage us at your own cost. And we will come. Larissa, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Scalability is very key because we can't go everywhere. So when we have somebody who's doing well, we want to help them to do better. How important is scale in this conversation about market access? But on a more specific level, what are some of the things the fellowship will do for these 12 companies? What kind of capacity will be built so that at the end of the day, these guys will be ready to take on the world. So it's a 2-in-1.
Thank you. So I really want to center it on the values of the Mastercard Foundation. So we really embrace our values of listening, of co-creation, of kindness and respect, of humility. And I say this to say because we want to raise EdTech entrepreneurs who think beyond profits, but can also think about purpose. And purpose is really a driving factor to scalability and something that will contribute to lasting impact and legacy. And I think a lot of us within the development space, this is an opportunity for us beyond providing funding and resources and guidance. We really need to work with young people, specifically our EdTech entrepreneurs, to think beyond profitability. It's important, but think about purpose as well.
Wonderful. I want to pitch something. So you spoke about content. You're giving laptops to teachers and you're giving tablets to students. You will need content on that platform. There are content people here. She's a content person. She's a content person. Can I see the content people? Oh, raise your hand. Lots of content people. So it would be nice to hear from some of them as the kind of content they have and whether it fits into what you want to put on there. Because I know you also develop content, all right? But we can help you, all right? So when I open the floor, it would be nice, whatever you do, we want to know how you come to this conversation, right? We just don't want to talk and go home. Government is giving tablets to millions of students. Something has to be on the tablet, which is useful for them, all right? So how ready are we if after this meeting, Larissa Shiraj, Minister says, look, I'm going to give the 12 guys in the fellowship the first right to provide some good learning content for our 1 million laptops program. And then you're like, oh, we are not ready, right? So it's nice to know what kind of content is required, what kind of standards are we to have so that when opportunity comes, or what kind of process we have to go through. So it's a fair, transparent process. We want content on math. And we want the math for students who have learning challenge, whatever. What are we? Do you get my point? Spell it out, let's be clear, and then let's know how we can engage. Otherwise, it will just be like a big talk shop, which leads nowhere. So let me start with Anyele, because she's on the panel. What do you have? Can you do something for these guys? Do you have content that can support either the one laptop per teacher or the tablet thingy?
The tablets.
Tablets.
Yes, for the schools. So we have thousands of reading materials, and this is so that children can choose, or students can choose what they want to read about to get proficient in reading while enjoying the process. And so we definitely have enough content to put on the tablets for the students. We are even upgrading our app, so by September 1st, we'll be ready to put it on the 1 million laptops and measure the reading level of the various students in the secondary schools also, and then give them content that they can choose from, read, and take quizzes, pass the quizzes, and get better at reading.
But
so we're ready.
Is your business model amenable to a public free, because government wants access. So government always works with 3 A's. Availability, affordability, access. If I'm wrong, he'll correct me. So government doesn't want content that people can't read or cannot pay for. And this is not just to Angele, it's to all of you in the room. I'm doing your work for you, but I'm sure that's correct. Because the government doesn't want content that is segregated, that you have to pay 20 cedis to read a book. Because it's not good for them politically, he told us. So they want free, always available, always on, always accessible. Are your business models able to cope with that type of requirement? You are the person here, but if she's not doing the right answer, you guys can help.
Okay, so I believe that that's one of the things we'll be looking at in the Mastercard and fellowship. Different types of business models in order to have maximum impact. For the starters, I think of a freemium model, if it's possible in our context, where there's some limited access for free. And if you want more, or you want it in a more enjoyable fashion, gamified, then you pay something little. so that those who can would pay for it, and those who can't perhaps can be subsidized by those who pay or by donors. So there are various models that I'm sure we'll be looking at that optimize the impacts that we'll be having.
Senlos, give us a po. Are there any areas of content you are looking at or hoping that people, whether it's types of content, subject areas, whatever, what are some of the things you're looking for that you believe people here or people listening or watching can partner to supply? Any ideas around local language content, whatever? Tell us.
All right. When it comes to content, what we do is we have some benchmarks. And of course, once the content is created or produced, we work with NACA, who is the content approval at the ministry. As of now, we have most of our content on the tablets and other devices, the electives and the core subjects. But now, education has also taken a paradigm shift. We are looking for game-based content that we are working with the Minecraft education, that all the content has to focus on improving the 4 C's of the students. That is creativity, critical thinking, good communication skills, and collaboration. So if you have a content in that regard, you can speak to Senlos, and we will see how we can subject it to our processes, and NACA will look at it. Then we integrate it in our system. Of course, GES will also come in. All the content has to go through GES and NACA for them to approve it. One thing I will share is most of our startup content production in the country, they seek to produce the content, but they do not look at the content utilization. You need to put metrics to also know how content are being utilized so we can engage you or we can give you ideas to promote more content.
Wonderful. This is EdTech Monday on City FM, and we're coming to you from the audience which just launched the EdTech Fellowships under the Mastercard Foundation. The audience is happy, so they're applauding one more time. Wonderful. We will not take live comments on air because this is a recorded program, but we're going to take comments from the audience to let you know that they are real human beings and not robots. So I need 2 mics, and I'm going to open the floor. You mention your name, tell us what you think. I'm going to start with the gentleman in Agbada. Please rise, send him a mic. I need this in like 2 seconds, guys, all right? Tell me your name, your age, your class, start your letter.
Thank you. My name is Solomon Ajay. I work with the Association of Ghana Startups. Now, I have a little challenge. One man boss spoke about the policy. He says they're going to engage the EdTech people. But I was happy when you asked how many of us here knows about it or have input into it, and nobody, practically nobody. And I was surprised because the policy that's supposed to be made for the people, and their voice is not in it. I wonder how effective it will be when it's launched. And like he said, the document is due for launching. So they are nowhere at the drafting stages. And when he said benchmarking, I wonder what that means, because you benchmark to get some certain input to the document. But the document is done already. You're not going to do benchmarking. Now to come and take input. That input, what will it be used for? I'm just trying to understand what he means by the benchmarking, and now the input that is now going to engage the players. Because clearly what he said is that they are done and they're due for launching.
Solomon, thank you for your question. We'll take note of it. We come to, where are we? I need 2 mics. Just go to the gentleman with the glasses. I need another mic. So, Mr. Gavo, please rise. Ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Bernard. And thank you, Nana.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Ernest Gavo from Ghana Society for Education Technology. So we promote EdTech. We work with Nana and Stephen. So I know them quite well. Okay. So Nana, you invited me for the very first step towards the policy, but you see, you didn't invite me again, so I couldn't defend you. So the very first engagement I was there, but nothing happened thereafter. So my real probably question and observation, but you've asked severally. We need a very deliberate policy to patronize these 12 fellows of ours. Yeah. You see, but you have been in the space for a very long time. You've interviewed a lot of these guys. I think it's only in Ghana that we have startups being there for like 15 years, 20 years, and they're still startups. Because we don't patronize them. And there's no deliberate policy for the uptake of these innovations. So far as I'm concerned, there's no reason why Charles's kids are not in every school in Ghana. Yeah. As a deliberate policy from GES. Yeah. You know, but you have, I'm sure you've used Windows 95, yes. Windows 2000 before. Yeah. If you use Windows now, you might feel cheated because what you are using then, excuse my word, but look like rubbish. Yeah. But we patronize them. It was our patronage, our money that got them to get to where they are. Yeah. So we need quite some deliberate policies to encourage all these innovations Wonderful. To come to assess the market. Thank you.
Thank you. And by the way, what he's saying is not unique to education. It's a general point around uptake of innovation in the nation. So thank you for the question. Yes, sir. Yes, so after that, I'll come to that.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Desmond Edusa. I am founder and CEO of Luminate's Career Services. We were part of the UNICEF Startup Lab Cohort 3 last year. So my question is, with all the initiatives, I mean, we are talking EdTech, but with one of the key areas which I think is not discussed enough is the areas of career guidance as to, I mean, all the education efforts and all are actually to help students become individuals that stand on their own, who can actually, benefit the nation based off all the education initiatives that they've been through. So in the space of career guidance and, student support in actually identifying their trade skill areas and becoming unique, individualized students, what's happening within that space? Thank you.
Very good question. I went to a secondary school in Ghana with 5,200 students, and there's one career guidance person. I interviewed them myself. A secondary school with 5,400 students. Even if she interviews them an hour, how is she going to finish? 5,400 students, one lady. So that's a very good question, Desmond. Thank you for asking. We'll take one last one. Yes, sir. Madam. Give him the mic.
He wants to know how the deaf child, yes, will be able to use Pebicap, your solution, to read. She wants to know.
Pebicaps. Hotspot. Let's just go through the questions again. First one from Solomon. He doesn't understand benchmarking. Ernest wants a deliberate way in which you can infuse the usage of these innovations. Desmond wants to know the issue of career guidance and how we can incorporate that. That's going to GES directly. And Anyele, you are hot. Please, I'll be praying for you. Go first.
That's a very good question. And Pebicab's, our vision is every family successful through a vibrant culture of reading. And this is because, as I said in the video, the love for reading is a stronger indicator of a child's success in school and their future career, across all subjects actually, than even their parents' level of education or socioeconomic status. So we literally have no child left behind as our vision. And eradicating illiteracy should happen in our lifetime. This is the 21st century. This is not 100 years ago. So to your question, Pebicabs was in a program with Jacobs Foundation and Reach for Change and had the opportunity to do some research with a science of reading professor that looked at the inclusivity of our platform. And we are very happy to see that there's a path towards making our platform more inclusive. That said, we are looking for the funding to actually be able to implement that in our platform. And as soon as we do, we are happy to include not just deaf children, but all manner of disabilities having the opportunity to read so that these families also be successful through the vibrant culture of reading.
I like the way you throw the question back to the funding people. Amazing. Funding people, we need you to make this happen. DG, Deputy DG, career guidance. Is the yellow, is the thing on? Yes, so talk, it will come.
With career guidance, we know how important they are in shaping the choices of our students, in furthering their education. And GES has a whole unit, and that is headed by a director in charge of guidance and counseling. And now we have a policy direction. Bernard, as you indicated, even those days, if you have a guidance coordinator in a school, that person will also be teaching. So it's not only for guidance. and support. They will also be in classrooms teaching. But what we've done is that because of its importance and the way they influence our learners in making career choices, there is a whole unit at all levels. When you go to headquarters at the regional level, at the district level, and even at the school level, the policy is that anybody at all that is in charge of guidance and counseling and career, that person is not going to teach again. That be a full-time job. There is also a policy guidelines as to how to support our case in making the right choices. And that is also probably influencing our advocacy for STEM and for all other science-related programs. Now, our learners are very conscious of what they are supposed to do, and we start from kindergarten at the early stage. We are not leaving anyone out. And right from early stage, we let them know the career path and the way that we will need them to build their capacity, competencies, and to be relevant to our national cause.
Wonderful. Thank you for your answer. Sendelos, the benchmark in...
All right, thank you. Let me explain this to you. I think when I spoke, maybe a lot of you that we have an ICT policy, and there's a disparity between that and an EdTech policy. The ICT policy is a legacy document at the ministry that they already had it since 2003. 2008, it went under review, reform, and redirect. And again, 2015, another review, reform. So what is about to be launched, supported by UNESCO, is an ICT policy. But the EdTech part, once they launch that, we will tease what it means for EdTech. Then we will make sure all stakeholders here, as we speak, UNICEF is supporting us to collate the data of every stakeholder in the country so we can galvanize your idea to work on the EdTech policy. So that's the disparity between the two. So all of you will be in, and then the benchmark with other countries will come. But the ICT policy, it goes way back to 2003, and we are about to launch it. The EdTech one has to speak to artificial intelligence, robotics, coding, and all these career guidelines for EdTech we are talking about here. We want our students to be able to sit in Ghana and work in Dubai through the EdTech policy we have. So we need to create gateway. In Ghana, we don't have a lot of gateways. How do you get paid if you are in Ghana working in Dubai? Have you thought about that? That EdTech policy will speak to that.
Thank you very much. So Ernest was more a comment. We've done an hour. I'm going to take 3 comments, not long question answer, because for the radio show we're ending. So I'm going to start with you. I don't have a lady. I need a lady. Too many men. Yes, madam. So you go first. Yes, madam.
All right. Hello. My name is Cecil. I work for eCampus. I've been in EdTech for 20 years. Yeah, you know me. I know you too. So I'm very disappointed in what was said at the panel, that if you're not ready to give things for free, you can't work with the highest employer, the one who controls all the education in this country of 30 million people, and you're telling me that I should build products, and if I can't give it out for free, then I don't have a market. That's why we are all incorporating in Delaware, incorporating in Senegal, incorporating in South Africa. How can you tell me that me, Ghanaian, create a product for my fellow brothers and sisters? You tell me if I cannot make it for free, I don't have a market, so I should pack and go. That's embarrassing. I don't want to hear that from anyone.
But did he actually say that?
That's what was said.
No, what we said was that... Let me explain. I said that...
That's embarrassing.
No, hold on. What I said was that the government looks at availability, affordability, and accessibility, whether it's for electricity, whether it's for internet, or whether it's for educational content. So those are the broad... If I'm wrong, you correct me.
So
those are the broad... No, just hold on. No, that's not what we said.
Take it. How?
No, I don't think we said that. Did you say that? No, we didn't say that.
Why did you say that?
No, we didn't say that. We didn't say that.
You then don't say that, please.
Yeah, we won't say that.
So how much will you pay for our services?
No, we didn't say that. We didn't say that.
Are you willing to pay $1 a year?
No, let's clarify. What we're saying is that the government always wants it to be affordable and available and accessible. So we have to find a way of working our business model. Somebody has to pay, but it may not have to be the final consumer.
The government must pay. They must be willing to pay.
Yeah, that's
find money to pay. They won't find money to pay for other things.
Yeah, but that's your solution.
Make it for pay. Education cannot be free forever. You must pay for it.
So, for example...
pay. Let us grow. Pay. You pay for other things.
Okay.
Oh.
For example, free SHS, somebody pays. You get it? So, no, this is a public program, so let's be clear. So we are not saying there's nothing free. Somebody pays. So it can be free for the student, but you have to find a way in which the model gets somebody to pay for it. Do you understand my point? So I just hope we have not confused the public. So thank you for asking. It's not, we are not saying your solution must, otherwise you don't have a business. But you work into the model how payment is made, but the end user gets it, which is why we are here. So thanks for raising the point. Let me come to Madam.
Thank you, Bernard, for the opportunity. My name is Aida Nate. I'm the CEO of CTN Technologies, which happens to also be an EdTech company. So I have two questions, but I'll keep it short. I have had first-hand access to some of the activities at Sendlos, and I think you're doing a great job. And I don't want to go back to the policy, but I'm just curious, right? I want to know what are some of the incentives that we should expect as the EdTech policy is being launched. My second question is to GES. It's quite a challenge trying to penetrate public institutions and some of the government schools. Is it possible to make the process easier? Do we have to go through the directorates, go through different authorities, come to the school, and maybe the headmaster doesn't want to entertain you? Can you make it simpler? Is this something that you're discussing? Is this something you can do something about?
Thank you for your question. Madam, please rise, give her the mic. Then the last one will be you. Okay, more ladies now. Wonderful.
Right, thank you very much. My name is Antonia Senam Fesu. I'm a teacher with Ghana Education Service. My school is Old Lashibi, JHS. Nice. I teach ICT and then French. And then I'm also engaged in the TVET as well. What I have noticed is that lots of my colleagues are not EdTech exposed. I found my way into education after working with Tigo and MTN. So I'm already tech savvy. I realize a lot of teachers are not like that. So is there any strategy to make sure that these implementers actually have that exposure so that when they are translating it to the learners, it becomes more productive? Thank you.
Your question is worth $1 million. Thank you for that question. Madam in red.
All right. My name is Frederick. I work for SG Bank. Yeah. I could see you are all talking about tech, but it seems you've left the deaf people behind. If you are truly focusing on tech, then we should also hear about tech as well.
Thank you.
The deaf.
Just to keep track, so there was a point about free, which will be responded to. There's a 2-in-1 question from, your name is Ida? One for Sendlos, one for GES. How do we get our teachers to be ICT savvy for the panel? We're leaving out the deaf people. So I'm going to give you the last word. Madam, yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm Benis Imperijechi with the Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition. We are known for advocacy. So as we are launching this today, my appeal is that we should not look at education technology only in the cities, but we should make sure that those in the remote areas also benefit from these services and then from all the fellows. And just to add a little to the inclusivity, our national chairman is visually impaired, and he edits most of our work that we do. Wow. So if we invest in the people with disability, they can do a lot. We should not leave them behind. Thank you.
Benis, thank you for that powerful comment. A minute each for the panel to choose the question that affects them. GG. Deputy.
Quick one on the free. I think that was said during your intro to ask Our Lady the strategies they are adopting in getting the whatever they have to the public schools. We have never said here that it should be free. That is why probably our partners are indicating that it is difficult to get access to GES and even to get access to our schools. We are government agencies. We do appreciate the work that you do. We also appreciate that when we work with you, we'll be able to do our work and do it better. It is already not as difficult as it is perceived. But when it comes to finances and budget support, we need clearance before we be able to engage you and before you'll be able to buy your product. So we have a whole unit partnership and affiliation. You take you through our guidelines and our standards. It is not difficult. You come on board, we are ready to accept you because we need you before we can do the work that you want to do and to get to the point where we want to get to. So you are always welcome. Just come to GES. It's not as difficult as that.
There was a second question for you. I don't know if you've answered it. Ida's question. Or
she wanted to find out whether we are making things easy.
Okay,
and I indicated that because sometimes the financial component and the budget, you need clearance. It is a government agency. But for the guidance and for our standards, we are always ready to accept you and to work with you that when you get to know what we want and what standards you are supposed to meet, then it comes to the financial side and we can work together to resource the funding.
Thank you. Let's put our hands together for him. Take comments from Nana.
Okay. All right, when it comes to EdTech policy, some of the incentives is what we are seeing here today. We want to work closer with the stakeholders to make sure they will support and come up with a lot of, budget or financial support for startups so you can, come up with these fantastic initiatives too. We want to create a lot of friendly ecosystem when it comes to EdTech, so it will be easier for you to penetrate. We also want to use the same policy to promote collaborations among a lot of startups and others in the other jurisdiction. And also, Senlos, we have ultramolding studios, and we want to promote that, using that for all of you to be able to leverage on that. When it comes to the persons with disability, we are going to deploy artificial intelligence. Ghana teaching, when it comes to traditional, is one size fits all. We want to personalize learning on EdTech so you could have your own content on demand. So we have all these in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take a comment from Anyele, and then I'll end with Larissa as we close the panel.
Opportunity to be on this panel, and there's definitely a lot of potential in the market for EdTech companies to thrive and to actually make a big difference in changing the story when it comes to SDG 4. I'm very grateful for the collaboration we have here, and I would say that we're looking forward to more of these opportunities, in particular the opportunity to actually have behavioral change campaigns that raise the water level in terms of awareness of how EdTechs can solve problems, so that the end user, the person who is not in this place, the parent who just wants what's best for their child, actually would subscribe to what we do. We've heard stories of those who have children with disability, and there's a product and they refuse to give the product to their child because they just can't be bothered to invest in the child. So a lot more work needs to be done on the marketing side. I think that's what I find is missing in terms of the discussion. Behavioral change, marketing, psychology, and the big brands in the food and beverage industry do that, and we use products that we probably shouldn't use because they're not healthy for us. So why don't we do the same in education, if education can actually make people's lives better?
Put your hands together for Anyele Pebi Cups. Before I take Larissa's comment, the question around the teachers and their IT awareness. DG, don't forget, Deputy DG, you give them the tablets or whatever, they can't even use it, man.
All right, we would like to assure our teachers. In fact, we are integrating ICT into our teaching and learning. And we are working closely with NTC, Sendelos, NACA, and that is being supported by TTEL. So we have already had what we call baseline assessment of the levels of our teachers, and we are designing content to be able to support our teachers to be at that level where they will be able to deliver and deliver to the point. Because now our kids in our schools are even more enhanced in terms of technology than our teachers. So our teachers, we would like to work together. We collaborate with all other agencies, especially with our EdTech people here, so that we build content that will give capacity to our teachers to be able to deliver on our mandate.
Thank you. Final comment from Larissa for the panel.
Thank you. I wanted to respond to Frederick, and I wanted to say that I hear you, and I think that we are beginning to use the term inclusivity loosely. And this should go beyond access to education. It's about creating an environment, a culture where all learners feel included, respected, valued. And it even goes to the conversation around career guidance. It's about creating that enabling environment for students to interact with people, have that confidence. Because if you don't have the confidence, there's no way you can really approach what it is you want to. So it starts from the classroom, when we are all actors in the space. And this is a call to the fellows as well. Think about inclusivity as creating that enabling environment for all students. There has to be a time when there won't be a Ghana Federation of Disability or any association for a specific group of people. We are all included in this, and so we need to start thinking out of the box.
Put your hands together for Larissa Krofi. We've been listening to Angele Pebi, who's the CEO of Pebi Cups. Larissa Krofi, Program Lead, Education and Skills, the Mastercard Foundation in Ghana. We also had Nana Jemfi Ejwabo, who's the ED of Sendlos, and of course, Stephen Kweku Owusu, Deputy DGG. Let's put your hands together for the panel again. On my program, there are two items, closing remarks from the Mastercard Foundation. I want to assume that's what you just did. And then there's something they call, yes, please. There's something you call the partner call from the MEST. So I believe that will be done by you. Please come and do the partner call. And then we will take photos. We will not get up, so you know that you don't have a lot of time. So we are sitting here waiting for the photos. So just do it quickly. So Raj, do the closing remarks after this. So you're going to do the partner call. I need to give you a mic. Please come up. Look, I know you very well, but I've forgotten your name. So tell them your name and then talk.
Thank you very much, Bernard. My name is Femi Adewumi. I work with MEST. And first of all, I'd just like to observe all protocols and to say a very big thank you to, first of all, the Mastercard Foundation, Suraj, and Joy, we are personally here today, and the entire Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning team for picking us as your partner for this program. And I'd like to specifically acknowledge all our other partners as well, the Ghana Education Service, the Deputy Director General, Mr. Farko. Thank you so much. UNICEF, I think they've left, but they've been really supportive as well. And they've started actually working with us up to this point. Dr. Nana, thank you so much, St. Louis. Thank you so much for your support. Larissa, you've worked with us from like a year ago now. And all our partners, the Ghana Society for Education Technology, thank you. They were with us throughout the selection process to identify the 12, our 12 fellows. Just big thank you for the big support. We have just started the journey. For our 12 fellows, congratulations. This is going to be a journey, I can assure you. And what that journey means for all of us is 1 million learners in 3 to 5 years being impacted with clear educational outcomes. What it means, when we say learners, maybe that's too generic. It means girls in schools. It means people with disabilities. So Frederick, addressing your point, it means people who are living in hard-to-reach places in villages. I'm happy that we have Lozele initiative here. Lozele Academy from Bolga region as evidence that we're now trying to get out into those places. But this is what it means. It means practical field work. Now, we at MEST, we understand technology, but we don't understand education. We don't understand the education market. We don't understand how the nuances happen in the regions, in the rural places in Ghana. But this is why we have you, our partners. You understand this space. You own this space. You've been here for years, building relationships. You understand how it works in the district, how to get access into those schools. And we really, really are counting on you to work with us and us to work with you. And we're calling for a partnership. So we're not just saying, bring or come and help us, that we have our problems, we need your help. We're also saying, what are your own needs as well? What are the things that you want to achieve? What are the programs you want to do? can we find overlaps where we can actually now collaborate and go out together to create this? Because we know that in this partnership, as we try to address or work with you on your own challenges, our own challenges also get addressed. So we're really counting on you. 36 companies in 3 years, or 3 to 5 years actually, starting with 12 now. For the 12, the next 8 months is really, really critical. And it means, practically, we'll be going to the field, we'll be working with our partners to actually go to the districts, the rural places to get access. We'll be working with partners to get access to devices, access to infrastructure, everything that we need to ensure that we actually take the impact where it really should be getting to in the rural places. And I think that's really it. Partnership is key. And this is the only way we're going to succeed. So thank you very much. Our journey has started. Thank you.
Thank you, Femi. We'll take closing comments from Suraj, who is our host. Put your hands together for Suraj. Thank you very much. Mastercard Foundation. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Actually, truth be told, MEST is the host, so we're just happy guests. Always, they make us feel very welcome. Thank you for your hospitality. There's not a lot left for me to say. I do want to point this out. This panel and your contribution, this is what we envisage as an enabling ecosystem. You ask honest questions, there's guidance, there's opening of collaboration from the policymakers, from the government. There's not anything being defensive. It's talking about, yes, let's see what you've got. We kind of guide you on this. This sort of conversation, and Bernard, well done on the moderation, is what we're looking for. This is a win-win situation. So let's work together like this going forward. Again, I think I've done my congratulations, but well done again to the 12. As I was escorting the minister out and His Royal Highness, both said the same thing. We want to see this in action. So now it's up to you. We'll, through MEST, perhaps invite the minister and his team. Sendlos is always going to be around. Even His Royal Highness. He wants to see this in action, not in a Kempinski room, but where you take it. So that's a very good sign. Thank you very much, everyone, for turning up today and staying up to now, I think, between you and your lunch. So I will not say. Thank you very much for the panelists. A very great conversation. We'll take it up. We have support for policy, which we'll take you up with. We've done this last year in Rwanda and Ethiopia, 2 policies through our partnership with the World Bank, so we can help with getting you all the data and comparison, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. Wonderful. We will take a quick round of photographs. The first will be for the panelists only, and then we'll have the panelists with EdTech fellows, and then Mastercard Foundation team will join. And then we'll do MEST fellows, and then everybody else. So let's, who's the main photographer? Do we sit or do we stand? Are you happy with us here? Okay, let me hide my mic. So we'll do another one standing. Do the fellows join us right now? After this. So then, come and take over. This is your job. Let's do it. I'm done here. Thank you.
Girl, I don't really care about your body type. Back then when I was a new youngin', you know they answer me. See my girl, the last time that I checked, see nothing ain't changed yet, except that I got a big friend.
Alright, so we can have the fellows join now.
DJ Kingston, the real party killer.
On Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at DJ Bushmeat.
You go bow for the result, nothing to discuss, cause I did win by bow for the result, nothing to discuss, bow for the result, bow for the result, nothing to discuss, cause I did win by default and without any doubt, I'm a me happy adult,
I no go feed the girl, I no go feed the girl, it's out though. I'm a mind that's with the talk. I put my life into my job and I know I'm in trouble. She manipulate my love, oh. I know holy, and I know that get both. Like the Baba Frayo, my ayo, don't cry yo. I need to go and shadow. 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 Shadow. I need to go and shadow. I need to go and shadow. I need to go and shadow. I dey cut when them kill Soboma. I dey try to buy moto, want Toyota Corolla. My feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Feelings been they swing like Django Lover. Now you crash your Ferrari for Lucky Bona. Now some money remake could have been all over. My feelings today swing like Django Lover. Feelings today swing like Timbani at you. I'm a white dog in Fenisu. Why you say I did nothing for you when if I do anything you want me to do? Timbani at you. I'm a white dog in Fenisu. Why you say I did nothing for you when if I do anything you want? Sugar cane sweet, but your love is sweeter. Hey. Sobolo juice mixed with a little ginger. Oh girl, I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you. I got the reason why I can't let go. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Match on your chin now, girl, don't talk. Got me like a thief in a night long jaw. But you know, say, all of my niggas, them ball. Nothing you go ever need at all. Match on your chin now, girl, don't know. Taking it a break, I me, I know the rush. Baby, if you want me, catch a rebel, my mister would on me. Show me a jigger, let me see. And let me see the woman that is with. I put a couple $1,000 on your wrist. What's on your wrist? Mama, they can't touch you. I ain't never see this kind, babe. We do so kind things, make me feel some kind way. You know I'm not just trying to get laid, cause I know some kind chicks do it for the right pay. Baby, make I fire you with my machine gun. 16 rounds, I be King Kong. Girlie, make I sample you my brand new song. Baby, love. Oh, girl, I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you. I got the reason why I can't let go. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' goss up. Man, them so far to find your love.
Nice power.
Mamacita, body bad and the craze for your features. Nice to meet you, Jimmy Seeker.
All right, thank you. We can have the fellow stay. Just take one. Just the fellows, but everyone else will take your seats now.
If you know the things we do, this love no be job, no April Fool. Yeah, girls from my boy, you me say get 5-star boomba, not a bad. Kaba, me a tamina, no bad. Oh my, I need my boss, my mama. All of my guys are thugs, but you know I'm rude. I mean, if you wanna give it up, I'll trap much for your love. Yeah. All of the guys, they want you, but they don't know that I got you. And they never been where we been from. Show my obsession.
So after this, we do the founders only, and then we go.
Shawty, come and ride in my backseat. Would you tell me what you want, what you fancy? Waiting on my ride like a taxi. I wanna be with you, but you know they got enough time for me. I wanna live with you. I can't see the way I can let go. Girl, you know, so you gon' pass up. Man, them so far to find your love. Girl, you never know, so you gon' pass up. Man, them so far to
DJ Kingston.
Can't seem to take my eyes off you. Can't seem to take my eye. Can't seem to take my eyes off of you, especially a bite and move. The way you hold that thing, me want to hold that thing. Baby, let me take a look. Oh Lord, me want all the girls in the whole world. I know what I'm doing is so wrong. Cause since no man can focus, we definitely don't give a fuck. She said she know me got a girlfriend. So what if I do? She said she know me got a woman on me bed. What if I, oh na na na, what if I do? Listen to me quick, so me girlfriend says she wants me back home by 2. What will I do? So me tell her say my car broke down at mile 2. Girl, I won't be home so soon. Oh Lord, me want all the girls in the whole world. I know what I'm doing is so wrong. But since no man can focus, we definitely don't give a fuck. She said she know me got a girlfriend. And so what if I do? She said she know me got a woman on me bed. What if I do? Girl, I am wayward. Be like not the only way forward. Your back looking like 2 planets. You're not from the same world. Girl, I am famous. Swear down, I'm a playboy too. And if you bust up my brain too much, I swear if it's break up. Can't seem to take my eyes off of you, especially a bite and move. The way you roll that thing, you wanna hold that thing. Baby, let me take a look. Oh Lord, me want all the girls in the whole world. I know what I'm doing is so wrong. But since no man can focus, we definitely don't give a fuck. She said she know me got a girlfriend. And so what if I?
Alright, and so for the last one, we'll try to do the impossible.
She said she know me got a woman as possible. And
so we can have as many of you join us for one last photo, and then we can go for lunch. Guys, please do grab a boat on your way out, outside the door. But let's have as many of us here for the very last photo. Is that okay? Yes, everybody, guys.
See my girl, the last time that I checked, see nothing ain't changed yet, except that I got a big bag and a big flag. Don't make nobody tell me nonsense, my nigga. Streets is so cold, my nigga. When nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. Nonsense, my nigga. The streets is so cold, my nigga. When nobody come try cry me a river. I'ma pull through like the strings on my guitar. So cold outside, my brother. I don't want pull no trigger. I just want it, what's I going place? I don't want no wahala. It's so cold outside, my brother. I know the hate on the brother. Me, I just want it, what's I going places? I don't want no wahala. Oh, it's so cold outside. Me, I know they let nothing to worry me. I know they let nothing to bother me. They no owe no one apology. You know, say she know they bother nobody.
Guys, I need as many of us to
bother me. I know they let nothing to bother me.
This is your ticket for lunch. Don't join me.
Nonsense, my nigga. Streets is so cold, my nigga. When nobody come try cry me a
DJ Kingston. Follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at BDJKingKingston. For bookings, call him via 0742 565 300.
Ladies and gentlemen, they can be low boy. Baby, can I give you my wish list? Can I give her my kisses to you? Cause she be my wish list. Oh, promise me that you are mine. Can I tap light from your light? I go make sure that you are fine. Gucci, Prada, and Dior. They don't die. Girl, you they blow my mind. I'm holding you for life. Anything money can buy. So baby, just decide. Girl, I know men ask come. But baby, can I try? Loving and money combine. You be my medicine. Only you are your body. If you love where
get money inside, loving you till the morning. However you need, get call me. Relax the handy cuddly. Only you and your body. However you need, get call me. Loving you till the morning. As I don't blow. So many girls, man, they see these days. I place no one above ya. If I ever Jones, then no give me space. That can't seem fit to kill, man. I no go use to catch cruise. I no go play for fool. Yeah. Wherever you need me, however you need me, whenever you need me.
Alright, so let's do one
They blow my mind. I'm holding you for life. Anything money come back. So baby,
guys, I need more energy. Right? This is your ticket for lunch, I told you. Alright, let's do it again. 3, 2, 1. Mass power! Guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time. It's been wonderful spending out today with you guys. Please don't forget to grab a meal coupon at the exit. Lunch is at the lunch area in the restaurant. Thank you so much once again.
The real party killer.
On Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at DJ Bushmeat.
All because of you, I be on the phone all night long. Don't be smart when you do it to me. Oh no. I be on my business, shorty. But you be on my mind, shorty. Let me, all of my honey,